YouTube, it's your guy, not your average trucker, coming to you on the hell is today, man? I think today's Tuesday, man, March 20th. You know what I mean? Shooting a quick video, man. I gotta work on my intro, man. I say the same thing every time I start a video. But anyway, quick video about communication, man. And how important it is, no matter what your occupation is, whether you own a business, whether you're an employee at a business, communication is extremely important. I had a little situation last week where one of my drivers, he's been with me for like 2 years. Initially, when I hired him, he was a over the road guy for me, running the southeast. Mainly, he was just doing North Carolina to Florida and back. But then, beginning of last year, January 2018, he told me he wanted to try to do local, so I went ahead and made him one of my local guys. So he's been doing local work for me, for a year. Home every night. He lives in the, right outside of Charlotte, man, like 25, 30 miles outside of Charlotte. So, anyway, he's been working for me 2 years, never had a problem with him. Always look out for him. He just had a baby in September. I gave him 2 weeks off paid, and he didn't have any PTO time. He had then burned that up. He went to the beach, last summer. So he had a baby, as a part of me saying congratulations to you. I gave him 2 weeks off. I paid it, paid for it out of my own pocket since he had no PTO time. Then on top of that, I gave the man, a $500 extra on his check, just as a, God bless you. He just had a daughter or whatever. So, like I said, man, good dude. Been working for me for 2 years. And, as a smaller carrier, man, the best way to keep your employees is to, let them know you appreciate them, keep them happy. It's a fine line between all that because at the same time, I don't ever want nobody to think, I can't do it without them or something. I don't want nobody to think I need them. But like I said, I like to make people feel appreciated, though. But anyway, let's get to last week. Last Monday, um, obviously he got loaded on Friday, held on to the load over the weekend, and he had to deliver a load down right outside of Columbia, South Carolina, some little town. I can't remember the name of the town, but anyway, he had to deliver that Monday morning. He gets down there Monday morning, makes his delivery. He's at the dock getting unloaded, and he sends me a text message like, "Yo, I need the rest of the week off. One of my family members died, and I need to reboot," or something like that, right? So I hit him right back. I'm like, "All right, well, I need you to pick up this load." He had another load to pick up that was like 40 miles from where he was, that had to be brought back to Charlotte. So I'm like, pick that load up, drop it on the yard, and then, we go from there. No response, right? So I'm like, all right. He sends me his paperwork once they, unloaded him or whatever. And so I call him. No response. I'm getting his voicemail, right? So, I got tracking on all my trucks and trailers. And where he was getting unloaded at was off of I-77. And where I needed him to go in order to pick up his next load was off of I-20. So he's riding through Columbia. I see, because I'm tracking his truck, I see that, I-20 is coming up. So he needs to get on I-20, I guess, westbound. And I see that he does not get on I-20 at all. So I call him again. No answer. So I'm like, all right, I'm pissed off. This was a critical load. It had to be picked up. So I had to reroute one of my other drivers. The initial driver that was supposed to pick it up, he was only 40 miles away from the place. And the guy ended up having to send there his shift was about over. I'm telling him, give you some extra bread or whatever to pick this up for me. But he had the deadhead almost 160 miles. It was over 2 hours just to go pick this load up, right? So I'm sitting here pissed off. I'm like, listen, communication, because a problem that I encounter a lot in my trucking company is a lot of these guys. I tell them, I'm not the most formal person out here. So when you see me, you ain't got to salute me. You ain't got to yes sir, no sir me. I'm a person just like you're a person. I'm going to talk to you like a man, so you talk to me like a man. And in doing that, I guess I'm so personable that in their minds, the line gets blurred a little bit between boss and friend. Like a lot of these dudes, I've noticed that a lot of these guys, we have random conversations. A lot of these guys actually think they're my friend. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, in my mind, I don't view you that way. In my mind, you're my employee. If we have, normal conversation about sports, or I actually how your family doing. I mean, I genuinely care about how your family's doing. However, we not friends, you understand? So I find that in the whole communication aspect, when this guy's ignoring my phone call, ignoring my text, and basically telling me he needs a week off, it's like, hold on, fam. Like, who do you think you are? You don't just tell your boss, yo, man, I need a week off, and then you don't answer your phone no more. You don't even pick up the load you're supposed to pick up. So, in my mind, I'm like, I know I got a good history with this guy. I know he's been working for me for 2 years, but at the end of the day, this is a business. This is not a partnership between me and him. This is not a friendship between me and him. You have a job to do. I don't really let nobody know what's going on in my personal life, and I'm not really interested in knowing what's going on in your personal life as long as it doesn't directly affect my business. So that's why I was with it. It pissed me off so much. I'm telling my wife, I'm like, yo, homeboy in the red truck didn't even pick the load up. He give me some mess about, his cousin died and he need a week off to reboot. I'm like, what the heck? I mean, if you got a regular job, your bereavement and all that ain't no whole week. You know what I mean? Your mama could die and you might get a day off. Maybe two, unless you got some PTO and you hook it up that way. So, and the fact that he ain't respond to me, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, pick this load up and just drop it at the yard. Not only am I helping you because you got to come back to Charlotte anyway. The load you was picking up was coming to Charlotte. So that's an extra load that could be on your paycheck. Nah, he ain't respond. He ain't do nothing. Had to scramble to find another driver to send him down there to pick the freaking load up. So I'm losing money because he's deadheading home. So I'm losing the fuel on that. I got to deadhead another truck that way. So I'm losing fuel on that. Plus pay this other guy extra because he was done for the day. He had enough hours to make the trip or whatever, but he had already done what he was supposed to do for the day. You know what I mean? So that really, really pissed me off, right? And then to make it even funnier, this happened on Monday last week. I didn't hear from that dude for the whole rest of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I didn't hear from him over the weekend. So in my mind, I was trying to give him a little points because, whatever he got going on, at least he got up that morning and delivered the load, because he could have just hit me with some BS Monday morning and I'd have had to scramble to find somebody to deliver his load. But comes, I don't hear from him. Then Monday come, I ain't thinking about that dude. You understand? So, and at that point, I had to went, because where he, like I said, he lives about 30 miles outside of Charlotte. I had to went and picked my truck up. And I had the truck in the shop, getting checked out. Because in my mind, I'm thinking either A, he quit, or B, you fired. You understand? Like, you know what I mean? That's where I was at with it. But, so I drive, his truck was in the shop. They ended up noticing an airbag on the steer axle was leaking. So they replaced both airbags and, was checking the truck over. Because he'd been in that truck. He had the same truck even when he was over the road from me, so he's using that same truck locally. So Anyway, I got my mechanic checking the truck over. I get a text from this dude Monday this week. So I hadn't heard from him in a full 7 days. And he's like, you don't have any loads for me today? That was so funny to me. I didn't even respond. I'm just like, really, dog? Like, I ain't heard from you all week. You hit me with some BS on some family member dying and you needing to reboot. Like, what the hell? Your mama didn't die, homeboy. Your dad didn't die. I don't mean to sound cold, but just reading that message is like, your cousin died. You need a week off to reboot. That just blew me away. Not to mention you literally ignored my load. So anyway, I ain't respond to him on Monday. Then he hit me up Tuesday, like, can I work today, sir? You know what I'm saying? So, and like I told you, he just had a baby in September of 2018. And then him and his lady just got a new place this year. I want to say January, February. He was all excited about. And he just bought a 2018 Silverado. So in my mind, I know, because there's been times he done hit me up asking for an advance on his paycheck because he got all this mess going on. So I know what his financial situation is like. So, anyway, so I tell him, yo, man, come to Charlotte. We need to sit down and talk. So he comes in there. Like I said, communication is key. In my mind, you fired. You done. Like, I know we got a 2-year relationship, but at the end of the day, you can't just bail on me, P. You can't just, you in my truck, and you just tell me when you won't work and when you not. Like, yo, I need a week off. Not knowing that that's affecting the loads I already got pre-planned for you. You taking money out, not only out of your pocket, you taking money out of my pocket. Then 2, something simple. You coming to Charlotte anyway. You got to go through Charlotte anyway to get to your house, and you don't even pick this load up for me, and don't tell me that you're not picking up the load. Like, your message was literally, I need a week off. So I'm thinking Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You understand? But anyway, he comes to Charlotte, and we sit down and talk, and come to find out, he got a little brother that's like 20, and his cousin came to his house to borrow his car because they wanted to go to a party or to a club or something. So his little brother come by. He let the little brother borrow the car. They go to a party. Some girls get to fighting at a party. Mind you, it's not his brother and his cousin. It's some girls fighting. And then next thing you know, some dude said something slick to them that they didn't know. And they like, what? What are you talking about? And then the dude pulled out a gun, blew his cousin's head off. You know what I mean? I don't mean to sound graphic or, whatever, insensitive, but that's how it was explained to me. So, dude was literally torn up because it was his cousin. Little cousin was raised by his mom, so that his cousin was basically like his little brother. So, and plus his actual biological brother was there. So, not only did, his cousin die, his brother witnessed it, and so his brother's like emotionally all tore up. 2, it's people out there with cell phone cameras recorded it and posted it to the internet. It was on like Facebook and all that. So dude is torn about that. Like, the murder of his cousin is actually on the internet, and he was like tore up, and he didn't know. He didn't want to let me down, which is why he got up to deliver the load. But emotionally, he wasn't in a place because he's like, yo, my cousin is dead, and it could have been my little brother. Like, my little brother could have caught that bullet because that guy that shot them, they didn't know the guy. They didn't have beef with the guy. It was like totally random. You know what I mean? And then to add to the fact, it was uploaded to the internet. So it was like, communication is key. Had he said all that to me, I would have understood. You know what I mean? Like, had he said, yo, he just said my cousin died, I need a reboot. It's like, what the hell is that, dog? Like, I don't know what that means. But to actually get to the meat and bones of the story, to realize that your little brother was directly beside somebody that got, shot in the head, point blank range. I get it, man. So that's a lesson to everybody out there, man. I don't care what your line of business is, man. Communication. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what you're going through, you ain't really got to give out all the details of your personal business or whatever, but always make sure that the people that need to know what's going on. Because this dude could have lost his job. He could have been out here right now looking for a freaking job because I was going to fire that guy. You know what I mean? That I still ain't excusing, you know, what he did, because, yo, man, you still could have picked that load up for me. Like, you know what I mean? You getting home an hour or two later than what you got home wasn't going to fix anything, but I got compassion. I'm a compassionate dude. I'm human, man. You know what I mean? I done lost relatives to violence and all types of stuff. So just talk to me, dog. You know what I mean? But shit, got not your average trucker, man. No, this video is a lot longer than what I intended, man. I tend to like making 9-10 minutes or less, man, because I know everybody out there got a short attention span just like me. I don't like watching long ass videos, so I try not to make them. But anyway, message to y'all, man. Communication, man. I don't care what you got going on. Keep the lines of communication over. I can't talk, man. Keep the lines of communication open. It's your guy, not your average trucker. Trucker, not your average at Instagram. Trucker, not your average at gmail.com. Everybody out there, be safe, be easy. Keep the hammer down. Keep the doors closed. Make that bread. You heard?